I'm all jacked up on Mountain Dew. Not really, it's Diet Dr. Pepper with cream soda, and it's really good. I'm not paid by Dr. Pepper, but you should try it. It's good. Alright, here it is. The video that will surely upset at least half of you watching this. And it's not my intent, or maybe it is, or views. I see this debate all the time on the internet, across all the forums in the land, so I'm going to settle it once and for all. Or maybe make the debate even more heated and solve nothing. I don't really know. Well, in any case, let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to rustle a few jimmies. Alright, so the C5Z, perfect example right here, and the C6 Z51, available from 2005 to 2009. After that, the Grand Sport came on the scene, took over that spot. What's the better buy? What's the better car? We're going to go over the specs, the cost, the looks, and finally, the performance. And for continuity and uniformity, this will just be the manual versus manual. The 05 automatic transmission was trash, so that would not even be fair. I'd assume most of you would agree with that. Specs, starting with the C5Z here. This guy came with an LS6 motor rated at 405 horsepower. However, if you had 2001, you had 385 ponies. This is a very stout platform all the way around. I am biased. I have a C5Z. However, I did used to have a 2013 C6 base model non-Z51, which was a very nice car. So don't think I only like C5. I had a C7 as well, which I actually traded in for this, and a C4. So I've had 4 different generations, but C5Z so far is probably my favorite. C6 is a good car as well. All right, getting off track. So pretty much the framework and underpinnings of the two cars are very similar. I did a video on that a few videos ago, go check it out. They both sport a 50-50 weight distribution, T56 6-speed manual transmission, hydroformed frame. This guy weighs roughly 3,100 pounds, so a pretty light car, given its power. Furthermore, the Z06 had the upgraded FE4 suspension package, pretty much more stout sway bars, stiffer suspension if you will, better shocks, larger wheels and tires, revised gearing ratio for track use, and I'm not sure if you can see it, but it has functional brake ducts, which is pretty cool. Alright, C6 Z51 2005 came onto the scene. That was sporting LS2 rated at 400 horses and 400 torques, respectively. Good little motor, had the LS2 in my GTO 2006, nothing wrong with it at all. Great little power plant. Like I just mentioned before, the underpinnings are very similar. They did make the wheelbase a little shorter on the C6. We're talking like an inch here. And the frame didn't change at all. And from what I can tell, the Z51 suspension package from the 05 to the suspension package on the C6Z is almost identical, if not the same. They might have changed some part numbers, but they carried a lot of the C5Z over to the base C51 C6. The brakes are the same, sway bars, but I do think the front leaf spring on the Z51 C6 is a little different. If someone knows for sure, let me know in the comments below if I'm wrong on that. The C6 Z51 does weigh about 125 pounds more than the Z06 here. Probably the biggest advantage the stock Z51 had, or Z51 package had, over the Z06 you couldn't get is a oil cooler, which is very paramount if you like to track your car, especially autocross. Alright, cost. As of right now, today, March 20th, first day of spring 2021, you can get a nice example C5Z, decent mileage, under 80 or so for about 18, an almost stock one not clapped out. On the other hand, you can get a nice 05 to 08, 9-ish Z51 C6 for about 20. They do cost a little more, but I do think the C5Z, given its limited production versus the base model Z51 C6, will leapfrog in value in the next couple of years. So buying either one right now, kind of a moot point. They cost almost the same to own one. Parts for these things are very interchangeable, and parts in general for both these cars are very comparable in price. So the price isn't really a huge deciding factor in between the two, which makes this a little more frustrating, if you will, to decide on which is the better buy. So yeah, cost right around 20K, and upgrades and performance parts, replacement parts are going to be about the same. All right, looks. This is the most subjective of all the comparisons I'm doing between the two. Obviously, I like the look of the C5Z better. I'm not saying the C6 is not a good looking car. I'm not a fan of the C6 in the narrow body platform. If I'd kept my C6, I was going to do a wide body kit on it. I ended up just buying a C7. But the C6 as a wide body, gorgeous car. Something about the fixed roof little notchback of the C5, it just looks sexy. It looks all business all the time. It just looks like it wants to fuck you up. You know, I can't explain it. And to me, I feel the C5Z has aged better than the first couple year C6s we got. The C6 narrow platform, especially with the original blade type rims, it just seems kind of dated looking. It sits way too high. The front end does nothing for me. I will say the C6 in any platform rear end does look better from the back than the C5. Again, this segment right here is very subjective. It's opinionated, and if you're upset about it, that's fine. You can tell me your opinion below. Now for the interior, if you're into refinements or a quieter ride, the C6 probably will be for you. This guy is a lot more raw, track focused, I feel, than the Z51 C6s. If you want nav out of the box, a stock nav GM system, which in that era they're crap, but if you wanted that, the C6 is probably your better bet. And the rims on this guy, I feel, look a lot more the part. The factory gunmetal look, they've aged very well. Even now, people ask if they're a factory rim. I'm like, yeah, I can't believe a 20-year-old car came with rims like this. It's pretty cool, kind of ahead of its time. Never even really thought about that. The C6 base model rims never did anything for me. They're not a bad rim, just personally, I'm not a huge fan of them. So yeah, again, looks is subjective. Me personally, I like the look of the C5Z better than the base model narrow C6. All right, here we go, performance numbers. This one kind of surprised me. I never looked at these two cars head to head, so let's get into it. Oh, and real quick, I took numbers from a bunch of different sources and averaged them together. I mostly try to use Car and Driver and Motor Trend for the time period for their numbers. Interesting numbers, so I had a few sources before we go any further. All right, here we go. All right, the C5Z with the LS6 can hit 60 in approximately 4 seconds. Quarter mile time in 12.4 seconds, and a skid pad of 0.9 Gs, which is pretty damn good for a 20-year-old car. And keep in mind, this weighs a little bit less than the C6. Now the C6 Z51 on the skid pad's a little better at 0.94 Gs, which is pretty damn good as well. It can hit 60 in about 4.3 seconds and a quarter mile in 12.7. Now I know the C6 Z51 does weigh about 125 pounds more, but that's quite a difference in launching. I was kind of surprised about that. I don't know. Are the numbers wrong? I don't know. And I don't have two stock cars to test them, you know, this far out. There's no way to really know. I mean, someone out there, I'm sure, can make this comparison again. But those numbers, I don't think this car is that much faster than a stock C6 C51. But if the numbers are right, they're right. I don't know how, but it is. So there you go. Yeah, it's kind of weird. And I checked again different sources. So the C5Z, I'm not just saying because I'm biased, is quicker in a straight line and a quarter mile. The skid pad, however, does favor the C6Z, the C6 Z51. So there's that. Okay, final thought. Personally, the C5 Z06 is a better looking car and a better track weapon. If you want more of a cruiser, quieter, more refined, better fit and finish, the C6 Z51 is probably for you. I do remember my 2013 base C6 was like obnoxiously quiet when I got it. It was like whisper quiet inside. The exhaust, you couldn't hear it. Ended up putting some Holley hooker exhaust Blackheart, I think, on it. It sounded really good, and a Corsa intake, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it was a good little setup. But anyways, yeah, out of the box, C5Z, looks wise, performance wise, hands down, in my opinion, clear winner. I'm looking forward to all the hate I'm gonna get in the comments by the narrow body C6 C51 crew. not my intention. It's also a very fine car. I just happen to like this one better. And if you're looking for a good little tool to figure out which one you like more, hopefully this helps. Anyways, guys, that's my little piece today. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys probably Monday or Tuesday for another fun little video. All right, go enjoy your Saturday. Mark out.